This morning, President Obama and congressional leaders are still working on a plan to cut spending, raise the federal debt limit, and prevent a possible default. On Thursday, there was talk that a deal was done, but all that did was make people angry. CBS News congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes has the latest from Capitol Hill. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning, Rebecca. Well, when news of that potential deal leaked out, it threw Democrats here on Capitol Hill into an uproar. They said it was all spending cuts, no tax increases, at least not for the foreseeable future.
Within minutes of reports surfacing that the two sides were nearing a deal, the Speaker's office and the White House were furiously denying it.
There is no deal. We are not close to a deal.
Anyone reporting a $3 trillion deal without revenues is incorrect, tweeted a top White House aide for good measure. There is no deal and no progress to report, added an aide to Speaker Boehner. Still, congressional Democrats say they are being told that talks now center around a package of cuts to domestic spending and entitlement programs worth more than $3 trillion. The increased tax revenues Democrats have been demanding would be put off for a year or more to give Congress time to tackle comprehensive tax reform. Furious Senate Democrats gave White House Budget Director Jack Lew an earful in a meeting at the Capitol Thursday afternoon, prompting the president to call Democratic leaders to a last-minute meeting at the White House. Meantime, officials from the financial rating agency Standard & Poor's were delivering their own warning to dozens of House Republicans about what could happen if Congress doesn't compromise.
One of the other messages they had for us that was unmistakable was that if we kick the can down the road, it is a bad outcome for U.S. Treasuries.
Congressional aides tell CBS News the deal in the works would require lawmakers to overhaul the tax code by 2012, closing corporate loopholes and reducing personal tax deductions in exchange for lowering income tax rates and the corporate tax rate. If Congress could not meet that deadline, the Bush tax cuts would be allowed to expire for families making more than $250,000 a year.
But Democrats do not see that as a fair trade. They say the Bush tax cuts were set to expire at the end of 2012 anyway, and that's why the White House is insisting that all these details that are going around are inaccurate and that the two sides actually aren't very close to a deal at all. So no one up here seems to know exactly what is going on, Rebecca, and that seems to be a pretty typical thing these days.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say just the same thing. CBS's Nancy Cordes on Capitol Hill. We appreciate your reporting. Thanks.